The Hermit's Path. Every life follows a path. Most people move through their days without thinking much about the small habits that guide them, the words they speak, the choices they repeat, the routines that quietly shape who they become. The Hermit's Path is a place to slow down and look at those small things. In this series, we explore simple ideas and practical steps that can help bring a little more awareness and intention into everyday life. Nothing complicated, just thoughtful ways to live a little more deliberately, one small step at a time. Connection between men without performance. Most people think connection has to be visible to be real. They expect words, constant interaction, some kind of ongoing proof that something is there. But that's not how it always shows up. Not in the kind of connection that actually holds. Because real connection between men, especially the kind built on steadiness, doesn't need to perform itself. It isn't trying to be seen. It isn't trying to convince anyone. It just exists. You feel it in the quiet. Two men in the same space, not talking much, not needing to. No pressure to fill the silence. No sense that something is missing. Just a shared presence that doesn't ask for anything more than what's already there. That's where it starts. Not in conversation, but in comfort. The kind that lets you sit across from someone or walk beside him without feeling like you have to reach for something to keep it alive. Because it's already alive. You see it in the way space is shared. One moves, the other adjusts. Not out of obligation, not out of habit, but out of awareness. A kind of awareness that comes from paying attention without making a show of it. There's no audience here, no need to act a certain way, no expectation to prove closeness through constant expression. That's where most people get it wrong. They think connection fades if it isn't constantly reinforced. But real connection doesn't weaken in silence. It settles into it. It becomes something steady, something that doesn't need to be checked every few minutes to make sure it's still there. You notice it in the small contact. A hand resting briefly where it doesn't need to be explained. A shoulder brushed in passing. A moment of stillness shared without acknowledgement. Nothing exaggerated, nothing held too long. Just enough to say what doesn't need to be said. And then it's gone. Because it doesn't need to linger to be real. There's trust in that. Trust that what's there doesn't disappear the moment it isn't being shown. And that kind of trust changes how everything feels. There's no pressure, no performance, no constant exchange of words trying to define something that's already understood. Just two men, moving through the same space, aware of each other without needing to prove it. That's what makes it different. It isn't built on expression. It's built on recognition. And once that recognition is there, you don't really question the connection anymore. You just move with it, quietly, naturally, like it was always there, waiting for everything else to get out of the way. Walking the Hermit's Path doesn't require dramatic change. Most of the time, it begins with something small, a new habit, a different way of thinking, or a simple choice made with a little more awareness. If something in this episode resonated with you, consider giving the video a like and sharing it with someone who might also appreciate the idea. And if you'd like to continue exploring simple ways to live more intentionally, be sure to subscribe and join me again along the Hermit's Path.